All right. Welcome back to Finding Fitness, Foundations of Strength and Conditioning. Excited to have another session with everyone here. Um, we're on session 7 now. We've gone through a lot of different aspects of performance, talking about the micro, or sorry, talking about the macro, about looking at the bigger picture when it comes to your health and your wellness and your physical fitness. We've talked about the different factors within a training session, type of variables that we can control to kind of make sure that our training is in line with our goals. We've talked about optimization strategies, and we've talked about last week we talked about nutrition. So went over some important information about nutrition and who to seek out, who to resource for nutrition consultations if you would like to do something like that. Today, we're going to talk about a topic that I really is close to my heart, something that I'm very passionate about, and I'm very much looking forward to it. I could have talked about this for the whole hour, but I tried to figure out what I would like to put into 10 or 15 minutes of the session. So today, we're going to talk about in our educational component, we're going to talk about the non-physical benefits of resistance training. So we're talking about, everyone is, fairly aware of the type of physical adaptations that you can have from resistance training, whether it be gaining muscle, losing weight, becoming more powerful or strong, mobile, flexible, all those types of things that you can improve physically by partaking in a resistance training program. Something that's less talked about, but in my eyes, more beneficial than those physical adaptations is the non-physical benefits, the mental, the social, the emotional benefits that come from making resistance training part of your lifestyle. So again, we tend to focus primarily on those physical benefits, but in my opinion, the mental and the self-efficacy based outcomes of committing to including resistance training in your lifestyle have even greater benefits than the physical aspect. That might sound like hyperbole, but let me explain. So I love this story. It's a true story that is close to my heart, and I think it really encapsulates what a resistant making resistance training part of your lifestyle can do. And I phrase it like that because your life is going to happen whether or not you're exercising, but adding resistance training into your lifestyle in the same way that like adding some awareness about your nutrition and your wellness into your lifestyle is happening either way. Making the addition of resistance training into your lifestyle, as opposed to it being something you might be able to do if you have time or this or that, just making it part of your lifestyle has so many great benefits. And this story, I think, really encapsulates it. So I call this the story of progress. I work with a lot of individual athletes from various backgrounds, athletes that have competed internationally and athletes who are trying to become professional athletes, to young kids who have a very strong aversion to physical activity, and everything in between, everyone in between, I should say. Regardless of where they come from or where they're going, they all experience the same thing when they commit to making resistance training part of their lifestyle. They make progress. They realize that with time and effort, they will be more capable than they are right now. And that concept in and of itself is so powerful. Think about the application that this has to every other aspect of life, to your education, to your personal relationships, to forming new habits or breaking old ones, working towards goals, and just believing in yourself. Recognizing that committing to something and then you seeing the fruits of the labor um, is oftentimes something that is hard to make tangible, but with resistance training it's very tangible. You're looking at a load, so like a weight, whether say last week you did 110 pounds and this week you did 120, or you set a goal of doing a squat, you wanted to squat your own body weight, and when you started you could only do 50% or 60% of your body weight. You work and you work, and it pays off, and resistance training is honest and fair with you. The work that you put in will be equally rewarded. So it's a beautiful constant affirmation of the power of those positive actions that you take in your life, and you're rewarded with something tangible, something that's measurable. When a lot of progress in life and a lot of the things that you're rewarded with in life are not very tangible, or if they are, they're very far apart. Things like graduating high school, graduating university, getting married, getting your first job. Those things are years and years and years apart, and you don't get that reward feedback loop like you can with resistance training. So it's very powerful. So to take that, that's really looking at the bigger picture of this concept. to take it down and look at the smaller picture, I like to tell this story. So um, I work with an individual who grew up dealing with a mental disability. Any person that knows this person knows it has not stopped them or slowed them down from doing anything. If you ask them, they say ability, not disability. They're positive. They work very, very hard all of the time. One thing that they love doing is box jumps. So they like jumping on the box. When they began doing this, they were fairly afraid of it. They thought that they were going to fall. There were really a lot of self doubt about their ability to kind of, perform these jumps. It was something that they were a bit afraid of. So we have three boxes at our gym. There's a 24-inch, a 12-inch, and a 6-inch box. They always wanted to jump on the two boxes, which was the 24-inch box and the 6-inch box together. Now, they could jump on the 12 and the 6 together really easily. That's 18 inches. Over time, we built that up, and they realized after a few weeks that they could jump on the 24-inch box. Every week, twice a week, they did box jumps. When they started getting comfortable with the 24-inch box, we added a little plate on top. It added about another 2 to 3 inches. After about 8 weeks, one day she said, "I want to try to jump on the two boxes." Now, physically, the entire time, I believe that she was capable of jumping on both of these boxes. However, mentally, they weren't really they didn't believe that they could actually do it. Now, after this 8 weeks, we put the two boxes on top of each other, and they tried to jump onto the box. They jumped up, they got one foot on, and they fell back off. And I said, "Look, you're almost there. Like, you can do it. Try again." They tried again, and they jumped up on the box. And in that moment, it was very apparent that the physical benefit of jumping on that box paled in comparison to the mental and the type of self-efficacy and self-concept that they gained from recognizing that they could accomplish something that only a few weeks ago they did not believe was possible. The look on their face and the emotions that were tied into accomplishing this goal far and far outweighed the actual physical development that went into making this progress. And this is only in 8 weeks, and we're talking about getting constant reminders of your ability to develop and build on top of positive habits and on positive action. So resistance training and these types of activities really give you an amazing opportunity to have tangible rewards for your time and your effort, and can really vastly improve your self-efficacy and your self-concept, and just the way that you see yourself, and can really open your eyes to what you're capable of, as opposed to just what's right in front of you, or maybe things from your past that make you believe that you're not as capable of doing certain things, or maybe this is too much for you, or this is something that's out of your realm. Like, committing to a resistance training routine and seeing the type of progress that you can make, you'll do things that you never thought you'd be able to do. And taking that and applying it to the rest of your life can open a lot of doors for you, and can just completely change the way that you see things. So really, really something that's really, really important to me. I've kind of just said this repeatedly, so this is the second part of the educational components, is about self-efficacy and self-concept. So excuse me if I'm repeating myself a little bit. I love this topic. Seeing yourself as capable and believing in your ability to improve and work towards your goals is essential in building a life that you're happy with, to creating a lifestyle that brings fulfillment to your life. If you're always down on yourself and you never feel good about yourself, it's really tough to kind of get to the places that you want to go. But when you have this tool in your life that you can really use to build on top of, it can constantly kind of build on what you've already done, and there's all these positive benefits. You take and bring back in the physical side. You think about all the good stuff that's happening that way, and then you add in the self-efficacy concept, and the all those types of benefits, and like, you really have something meaningful in your life that is constant, and it can be there for you into tough times. So really something understated about resistance training, and about spending time working on your health and your wellness. So to kind of wrap that up, making resistance training part of your lifestyle will show you the benefits of a multitude of different positive behaviors. The great thing about resistance training is that it rewards you with those behaviors frequently. Like I said, if you're consistent in your training, you're rewarded with constant tangible progress. You create a self-fulfilling positive feedback loop in your life for your, 2, 3, 4 hours a week. It's a very small investment for the type of benefits it comes with. You get a constant reminder and reaffirmation of the benefits of consistency, effort, goal setting, discipline, dedication, and countless other positive attributes that come from being consistent in an endeavor like this. Finally, on a macro, or sorry, on a more micro level, there's a lot of mood and self-regulation benefits. That's something more commonly talked about. So on top of the self-efficacy benefits that you experience, resistance training also helps with self-regulation. Self-regulation is the skill of managing behaviors, emotions, and thoughts in the pursuit of your long-term goals. So it allows you to kind of come back. It allows you to have more control over the way that you react to things, the way that you perceive things that happen to you. You become more in control of your life. And finally, resistance training releases endorphins, and that reduces stress and improves your mood. So all of these things that go into, just 3 hours, like, 3 1-hour sessions a week in the gym, or even less, like even just, 3 30-minute sessions at home with this programming or something like that can have a drastic impact on the quality of your life that far outstrips the strictly physical aspects of it. So when you think about, what the value is of starting to work out or start to do some resistance training, it's a lot greater than, thinking about things that might be slightly more vain in nature, like getting a six pack, or, making a certain body part look better, those types of things. They're great, and they're good for your self-confidence as well. But we really look at the bigger picture of the physical and the non-physical, the mental and the emotional, and then thereby social benefits of resistance training. To me, it feels like something that should be a part of everyone's life. It seems like a no-brainer to me. There's obviously other, versions of activities that kind of have some of the same benefits, but resistance training had an absolutely massive impact on my life, and I've seen the impact that it's had on a lot of other people's lives, and I just am very passionate about what it can bring to your life outside of, just those physical benefits. So yeah, that wraps up the educational component for today. I hope you took something. There's something to take home from that. Something that I'm very, very passionate about. And yeah, so I'll open up the floor to any questions or comments before we get into the training session, and then we'll get active and do a little bit of exercise today.
Yeah, thanks, Logan. I'll wait to see if anything comes in the chat here. No, I think I love the way you started that session, and I'm grateful that you shared that story with us. So thank you for that. And that goes to show, and that's pretty exemplary of the concepts you speak of. I love the idea of celebrating all of life's little accomplishments and successes, because you're right. Too often we just are consumed with those long-term goals, and we don't celebrate all the little steps along the way. And gosh, resistance training and the things you speak of, it's a perfect example. If you're graduating to a higher resistance, or you're achieving some success for some goals oriented with resistance training, you got to celebrate those things. And your body, I love the way, because your body will tell you that it appreciates what you're doing for it, right? Like, I'm a little older than most of the folks that might be watching this, but the tools that you've given me in the sessions, like, I'm feeling way better. I'm sleeping better. Like, I look forward to getting these little 30-minute sessions in. But yeah, celebrate those things and make sure you reward yourself, even if it's a pat on the back, or just acknowledging that you're doing something for yourself that contributes to, it's going to help you achieve those long-term goals anyway. It's going to contribute to your wellness and make you more capable of doing those things. So celebrate the small victories, folks. Celebrate the accomplishments along the way, for sure. It could be anything, like getting a new job with sport and wellness, as we have somebody on the line here that just joined our team. So celebrate those things. That's all I wanted to say.
No, you hit the nail on the head, and exactly, like, resistance training gives you like a modality that will give you that pat on the back constantly, that will always reward your efforts very equivalent to your effort that you put in. It's a really great measuring stick for your effort, your commitment, your time, and your energy. So yeah, hit the nail on the head. It's something great. And definitely just wanted to kind of nail home that idea that it's more than just the physical aspect. So awesome. So today's training session, just for folks that might be watching this for the first time, or someone, I'll just go over this anyways. What I've been doing in these sessions is I've been doing 1 or 2 sets of each of these exercises, but I'll kind of say, how many I would do in a full length session. So we're going to work through a warm up and then 3 sequences, which each have 2 exercises in them, and then a cool down. I'm going to demonstrate either 1 or 2 sets of each of them, dependent on our time. But for those doing it or following along at home, feel free to do extra sets and work within your capabilities. So I'll also talk about that. If you something feels more comfortable than something else, make those adjustments. The baseline that we're looking for is things to be safe and within your current capabilities. So to get started, we're going to do 10 connected breaths, and then we're going to do what is called, I did not name this, the world's greatest stretch. We're going to do 3 of those on each side. We're going to do Cossack squats, 3 of those on each side. I'm going to do 2 rounds of those. So I'll do the 10 connected breaths first, and then we'll do 2 rounds of those 2 exercises. So get my angles going here. All right. So 10 connected breaths. I keep ourselves nice and upright, hands open forward, and then big deep breaths in through the nose, filling up the belly, exhale through the mouth. So. Okay, I'll take a second here. I'm going to tilt this down a little bit more first and foremost. So world's greatest stretch. And take a big step out, opposite hand down, reach underneath, pull up, hold 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. Back down, up. 1, 2, 3. Down, up. 1, 2, 3. Come back down into our plank position and then switch legs. Take this hand, our right hand here, underneath our arm. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Back down into our plank position. Come up. Now we're going to do Cossack squats. My head's a little cut off here, but step out to the side, nice and wide stance. We're going to push our hip and our knee out to the wall, keeping our torso nice and upright. We're going to do 3 on each side. Okay, that's set. We're going off to the other side now. Keep that other leg nice and straight and just push that hip off towards the wall. We'll take a second and we'll do a second round now. Just take a breath or 2, gather yourself, and we'll go again. One, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Switch sides. One, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Back in the push-up, and then stand up. One more round of the Cossack squats. Nice and wide. Straight legs. Push the hip off towards the wall. Keep this leg straight. Other side now. All right, we're done the warm up. Take a second now. Okay, so yeah, Two really, really good warm-up exercises, lots of stretching through the and mobilizing through the ankle, knee, and the hip joint, getting that thoracic spine going, some good postural benefits, and then loosening or warming up, I should say, some of the muscles in the groin and the hips, again with the Cossack squat. So it's kind of getting our lower body ready for our session today. So our first sequence that we're doing today in training is goblet squats. So we're going to be holding the dumbbell, or sorry, we don't have dumbbells. We're going to be holding our backpack in front of us like this. And we're going to do 8 squats with that. And then we're going to do a new exercise, which has a great name, very relevant to this program, called Panther Shoulder taps. I did not make that up either. Well, essentially, we're going in our bear crawl position and doing shoulder taps. So we've done shoulder taps in the plank position. We've done bear crawls, or sorry, we've done bear crawl holds. Now we're just going to kind of combine those two things together to make this Panther shoulder tap, which is an awesome exercise that I only became privy to last week. So I'm looking forward to doing it again. I gave it a shot, and yeah, looking forward to getting into the program. So yeah, we'll take a second, and then we're going to get into the first sequence. So goblet squats, like 8 to 12 reps. If you have something that is a bit heavier, you can go a little bit lower if you something that can be more challenging for the lower rep range. Panther shoulder taps, we're going to do 5 per side. So 10 in total. You can kind of go between 5 and 8 per side, even 10 if you're really feeling it and you can hold a good position. So I'll take a second, and then we're going to go demonstrate it. Take our backpack here, hold it in front of us like this. Sure, you're in your squat stance, so feet just outside of shoulder width. Grabbing onto the backpack like this. We're going to squat all the way down, back up. 8 reps, just like this. Try and keep your torso nice and upright. Squat as low as you can, keeping your feet flat. All right. Now we're going to do the Panther shoulder tap. So here, what we're going to do is when I'm in the quadrant, actually, I think it'll be better from this angle. In this position, we're going to lift our knees just 1 to 3 inches up off the ground, and then we're going to start doing our shoulder taps like this. All right. Good. So take a second. Yeah, again, 2 to 3, even 4 sets of the goblet squat and the Panther shoulder tap together for the first sequence, and then move into the second one. Take a second here, and we'll go through the second round of exercise. So for the second sequence, we're going to do presses from the split with the backpack. So we're going to get into our lunging position, get nice and stable, create a good wide base. We're going to drop our knee down so we're nice and low in our lunge. And we're going to press the backpack from the front of us up over our head with our elbows locked out. We'll do 5 of those per side, and then we're going to do dead bugs, 5 of those also per side. Not sure, not everyone may be familiar with these, so and something we haven't done so far. So another new exercise coming into the mix for the session today. All right, here we go with the backpack press from the split and the dead bugs. So, fix the camera a little bit. Okay. I'm gonna take a nice big step out. See, my feet are narrow together. I'm gonna have a nice wide base. So out like this, take a big step, drop that back knee and the hip down. We're gonna start right here. Let's over your head, back down. We're gonna do 5 on this side, and then 5 on the other. Down. Step out, drop that hip down, and press. Back down. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Good. So take a few good breaths here, a chance to recover. And then we'll go into the dead bugs. Again, we're going to do 5 per side. So you're going to lay down on your back, with your knees up and your hands extended in front of you. And then we're going to extend one leg out and one arm out contralaterally. So meaning your left leg and your right hand, or your right leg and your left hand. Here, and then like that. There we go. So that is the backpack press from the split and the dead bug. 2 really good exercises. Challenging that lunging position, and also your thoracic stability and mobility, because you have to stay nice and upright and in order to be able to press that backpack over your head. Presents a little bit different challenge than just doing a standing press or just doing a regular lunge without the upper body movement. Dead bugs are really, really good core exercise. There's that contralateral effect in place, so you have to actually think to move the right limbs at the same time, and it's great core exercise at the same time. So really another 2 great exercises that you can do from home. And now we're going to get into our 3rd sequence of the day, which is the Backpack Romanian Deadlift with a row with a 3 second isometric contraction. And then we're going to do a half kneeling wood chop. For the half kneeling wood chop, we're going to do 5 reps on each side, and you can do it with your backpack if you're feeling ambitious. If it feels a little too challenging for you, you could use a shaker cup or a water bottle. So for the sake of the demonstration, I'm going to use my backpack, but don't, use whatever feels comfortable for you. So I'm going to take a minute or 2 here, and then we're going to go into that 3rd sequence. Okay, so again, backpack Romanian deadlift with a row with an isometric contraction for 3 seconds. We're going to do 6 deadlifts and then 6 rows, and then we'll do 5 on each side for the half kneeling wood chop. So for the Romanian deadlift, you want to make sure you're hinging with your hips. Keep your arms nice and long. Slight bend in the knee, and now you're just going to hinge with your hips. You're pushing your hips back towards the wall, keeping your chest up and your eyes forward. So bend the knees, hips back, chest up, down, nice and controlled, back up, keep the knees bent. Keep that tension on your hamstrings. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now we're going to go back into that bottom position and do the rows. So come back down. We're going to do 6 rows. Hold 3 seconds at the chest. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Awesome. Now we're going to get into our half kneeling wood chop. So we're taking our backpack or water bottle and kind of coming from here up to here. So set this up here in a second. I'll start out at the bottom, drop it up, down, up and away, back down, up. We're back to center now, and we'll set up the other side, same thing. Good, that's 5 on each side. Excellent, I'll take a little break. So yeah, those are the 3 sequences for the day. Kind of a range of different movements. We have upper body pressing and pulling. So, we've kind of used all the different upper body muscles. Same thing with the lower body. We've done a squat with the goblet squat. We've done a lunge with the backpack press from the split. And we did a pulling mechanic with the Romanian deadlift. So touched on all of the primary forms of movement in the upper and lower bodies. And then with each of those sets, we did a core movement. So the Panther Shoulder tabs and core stability and, working on that unilateral core stability, having to rely on one side or the other. The dead bug has some elements of like the lower, using the lower back, and also again, that contralateral element of using one limb, one leg, and then the opposite arm. And then we work through the transverse plane with the half kneeling wood chop. So doing some core work and also a little bit of upper body work, pulling that backpack from side to side. So this really kind of comprehensive full body workout for, just very little equipment, which is great. Now we're going to go into the cool down. We're going to go through 3 motions, and I would recommend to repeat this 2 or 3 times. So we're going to do lying knee to chest pose, hold 20 seconds per side. Downward facing dog, again, 20 seconds. And then child's pose, 20 seconds. So a yoga inspiration, great for bringing that heart rate back down, relaxing, and then, giving some of those muscles that we've used an opportunity to stretch and relax and begin to recover. So get into that now, and we'll wrap up the session for the day. I'm going to start off with the lying knee to chest pose, lying on our backs. We're going to bring our knee up to our chest. Just pull it into us. Keep the toe pointed up. 20 seconds. Down, switch legs. Toe pointed up, knee into our chest. Great, now we're gonna go into our downward dog. Come up, your feet up, walk your hands back to where you're comfortable, try and drop the heels down. Hold this for 20 seconds. And then down into our down dog, or sorry, into our child's pose. Reach out nice and long in front of us, drop the head down, push the legs back. Sorry, a spider. Awesome. So yeah, that wraps up our session for the day. Again, if you're following this from home, it's good to do a few efforts based on your time constraints, your energy, and your current fitness level. Feel free to add more rounds of each sequence, more of whatever you like too. Don't like the first two exercises, maybe do 1 or 2 sets of them. Really like the second two, do 3 or 4. Anything is good as long as you're exercising and working towards bettering yourself. Then it is all good. No one's holding you hostage to do anything. Make sure you're enjoying what you're doing. So yeah, that wraps up the exercise portion of the session. I'll open up for questions or comments, but thanks again everyone for joining or watching this in the future. Really grateful for this opportunity and thankful to get the chance to talk about some of these topics and to guide you guys through these workouts, everyone through these workouts. So thank you.